so. On to Zion we go. Lion voice don't move slow, no. Rastafari rules and reigns, and we're going where the blessings flow. Keep it locked right there, so. Saying, Rashayla said that. Lion's voice.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it's Exodus. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the Lion's Voice.
African pride, root of all nations, boy. I tried with the lion, the Rastafari. Lion of it tried with lioness like I do. Empress on the front line, we need you. This is Medicine, the steady one, and you are now tuned in to the Lion's Voice Network. What the lion forward for do? Scorch them. Roast and parch them.
I will never stop, hail the Most High. And I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Empress man, and I young Zion. Oh, your roll universally unfold, be told. Oh. Blessed love, this is Itege Idama, and it's time for the lioness and the lion's voices to be heard. This is the Lion's Voice, Rastafari.
Yo, blazing fire, yeah man, this is Ras out of Belize, and the time has come for the lions to tell our own story, right? Yeah man, we blaze fire, burning the wicked and the dirty vampire. Yeah man, Ras said that, blazing fire, lion voice.
Lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Yeah, Rastafari, Emperor Lisla said the first. Tell the people about embarrassment. Well, even if the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, but to the coming while we stand tall, I will shower you with my love. And even when the people start ball, cause they see the city streets them flood, but when the hurricane blow down their wall, I'll be by your side and me now but think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your love was a lifeline. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, that light was a lifeline. It seems like the world is upside down. I will never hide, I'd rather stand my ground. Lion of Judah blessed with the triple crown. Can't come fool I with no circus clown. Now fear no hurricane or the cyclone. Respect for Mama Earth with that embedded on me bone. That's why I will never leave you alone. Protect you from harm when the alarm sound. So even when the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, to the coming war we stand tall. I will shower you with my love. And even when the people start ball, when they see their city streets them flood, when the hurricane blow down our wall, I'll be by your side and me not budge. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine and unto I. Your light was a lifeline. I think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine and unto I. Your love was a lifeline. They say hurt people, maybe that's why Babylon them so evil. Maybe Babylon abused as a child. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chasmat Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to Lion Talk Live and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where the lions are telling our own story. Tonight we have a very special guest. We are counting down the days to the RMO Global Webathon. It's going to be massive. We have one of the media platforms that has come together in a historic collaboration. 12 Rastafari independent non-aligned media platforms coming together to put forward one event, one sound. What a joy. And this brethren is well qualified. He's a creative consultant. He works with people within the industry of renown. He has awards. He is very knowledgeable. He's residing on the West Coast. And we're going to get into all of the gems. I've learned a lot from the brethren in the short time that we've been able to reason. And we're going to have the conversation, the future of Rastafari independent non-aligned media. What does it look like? What can it look like? What can we do together? What are some of the challenges in the media landscape right now? This brethren knows content creation back and forward. We're going to hear some slogan. The man have a slogan, a rotted piece of slogan where I love it about storytelling. I tell the item, we're gonna get all of that tonight. So make sure you get your ITAL snacks. Make sure that your meditation is ready. We're going there, high level, high frequency, Rastafari reasoning right here on the Lion Voice Network. Big up. Before we get into the episode, let me just big up the greatest online community on the planet Earth and bias, okay? The Lion Pride. If you subscribe, you are part of the Lion Pride, and we are 60,300 plus strong from all over creation. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Roll call. Let us know. Africa family. I don't see anyone tuning in from Asia. If you're watching from Asia, even on the replay, put a sound in the comments. Let me know. China, Japan, South Korea, Indonesia, all of them places there. Let me know if there's anyone tuning in from the East. We want to know. Also, I want to big up all of our new subscribers on TikTok. We just passed 1,000 subscribers on TikTok. I'm Generation X, you know what I mean? So I don't know too much about TikTok. We just started over there, so I'm very happy that the younger demographic is tuning in. We just launched our IG page as well. So check out that if you're not subscribed. We're building out the creative ecosystem. We talk about it, multiple platforms. You cannot just be on one of these platforms. You can't give them that kind of power. So we are going to have that reasoning tonight. So this is going to be inspiration. If you've been thinking about launching something, a product, a service, this is going to be an inspiration. We're going to really get into the economics. I told the brethren, if you
are, if you want to be a sovereign human being, you have to be knowledgeable about content creation, because whatever your product or service, if you're going to build the brand, you got to be in the digital marketplace. You know what I mean? You can't restrict yourself to being local in this modern era. We have access to billions of people literally right now, and everybody should be accessing that commerce stream, and that means storytelling, that means content creation. So we're gonna go there tonight, family. This one might change your life. This one might put some money in your pocket if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to listen, and to have that conversation. We're gonna tell you about the trends, AI, all of them things that's happening right now. Big up the Lion Pride on Patreon, our monthly subscribers, the economic engine. I want to big up Full Spectrum Faith, our latest addition to our Patreon family, coming in as a loyal Lion Pride member. Big up yourself. All of the Patreon, we're still trying to get to 50. It's rough, I don't know. We get close, we lose people, we gain people, but we're just hovering. So I know the economic situation is rough right now, trust me. And I know enough of the item are coming. So we're just holding the fort. What we're building is going to take audience support. We can't depend on sponsorship. I tell the item, the model has to be collective security. There's no other way to be truly independent than to have your audience be your boss, you know what I mean, so to speak. So we don't want to be beholden to any single sponsor or somebody. Okay, Humboldt County checking in, big up yourself, family. We are getting to it, but big up. Before I bring forward the guests for today, I want to just talk very briefly about this massive webathon that's taking place. I want to show we have a new commercial that we want to highlight for the webathon. So let me hold on a second. Let me bring this up here. Let me bring this up here. Hold on, family. Let me do this. My queen, who's our producer. Yeah, I don't know. Anytime you see me struggling, you know the queen is not on duty. So the item have to take your time with I. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I didn't want to give you a sneak preview of the guest yet.
Sunday, February 1st, 2026, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. via RDDM Media. Keynote speakers, celebrities, artists passing through. Prince Ermias Saleh Selassie, Dr. Julius Garvey, Sister Carol, Julian Marley, Empress Sativa, Morgan Heritage, Kabaka Pyramid, Yemi Bolo, Muta Baruka, Janai Spragaben, Rizza Islam, Dr. Bobby Price, and so many more. Lock it, Sunday, February 1st, 2026. That's right, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right, Rastafari Hurricane Melissa Response Fundraising Webathon.
Give thanks. So that's the great Bobby Condors blocking that sound. So we really give thanks. A lot of people are supporting this vibration. Big up all of the artists. We're getting the submissions, the Lion Voice Network. We're one of the sponsors. We're helping to compile and put together everything. So this is going to be massive. So if you have not tuned in to this webathon, I'm telling you, make sure you plug in, make sure you have your reservation. You know what I mean? I'm gonna put the link in the Patreon. Big up yourself, Ras Roots. I'm gonna put the link in the Patreon. We're gonna post it on our community page. So over the next couple of days, just tune in across all platforms. We'll be sharing the link, making sure that everyone can access. So just tell a brethren, tell a sister. I want to see all of the items forwarding to this global webathon. And again, we have the founder, the CEO of Rastafari Jams here with us tonight. And we are going to get into our topic. So let's give a warm. I'm not gonna hold any longer. They them know I'm long-winded. I'm self-aware. I like to reason. So that's why I created my own platform. And we're gonna find out tonight why you should create your own platform. All right, let's give a warm welcome to great
Yes, sir.
brethren. Yes, PJ Cannon. Royal blessings, the Rastapreneur. Love it, love it. How's everything with the eye?
Yes, Quasi. We'll give thanks and praise. Base, already the energy that has come forward before we even get into the reason. I don't know how I can come forward after the introduction, but I give thanks for the strength. But in trueness, what you had just talked about with the webathon, to share that commercial to come forward for people before I even get into the reason. I just want full courage, DI and them on Sunday. Make sure you tell a friend to tune in. This is something that you never seen. This is history being made. That's the thing we want the item to know. We're telling the story, but we're telling the story of history being made where you got 32 different, you're talking about individual platforms that come together. All of the Rastafari mansions and organizations come together and say, yo, we have to, in this time, we talk about honesty, we have to show it. So I just wanted to start there, but give thanks again for allowing this time and space for me to share what's in my brain.
Yes, and again, we're honored to have the eye on the platform. The eye is, one of the brethren who is a pioneer in the space. I'm a newcomer. I'm a baby into this content creation vibration. I was telling the brethren, I've been doing consultations for a long time. As an entertainment attorney. And one of the reasons I started doing creative consultations is that I realized a lot of people couldn't afford an attorney, but they didn't know how to structure their business to get monetized. They didn't even know, how to go about thinking. The mindset was completely off. And as a creative myself, I know you can get stuck in that rut of just always creating, and you're basically doing it for yourself. You know what I mean? And you're not tapping in.
So I
But
love where you just started there, because
yes,
when you just started there, you said creating. We're gonna hold on to that. We're gonna come forward to it, but you
yeah,
said
yeah. Because
creating. I got a solution for it.
before we go there, we have a tradition on this platform that we cannot break. You're here for the first time. You have to step into the Lion Talk time machine. Take us to the moment of your birth. We want your origin story. Everybody on this platform is a superhero. May I tell the eye that we want to get the origin story, how the manifestation came on the eye journey to
So
Rastafari.
yeah, man, we love that. The Genesis. So I'm gonna start. If you want to know more about the Genesis, I just really released my book. This is really not a promo, but this is what everyone
No
always asks me
promo.
where
This
it
is the
started. That
promo
was the
platform. This is
inspiration.
a
So
promo
heart of a
platform.
lion, eye of a tiger.
No, I
Oh,
said this.
well, try not
This
to
is
be
a
the pro.
promo
Heart of a
platform.
tiger, Black
Promo.
Rocky Balboa
Yeah,
story,
man. Yeah,
and
man. Promo as much as you want, King. This is a promo platform. Go ahead.
yeah, man. So I brought up the book to say that was an inspiration for me, saying that I started in 1979. I was born in 1979, December 29th, 1979. So even though I always get joked from my cousins and things and say, you were not a 70s baby, you only there for 2 years. I mean, for 2 days, should I say, before the thing turned. But I started in seriousness. 1979, born west side of Chicago, Illinois. Um, Probably what they would call one of the boys in the hood. That's the true
Okay.
origin of my story, because that's what I knew around me. Um,
Okay. Vice
about
Lords, all them
age
things there.
13. Yes, yes, I was. It was an unknown vice lord. That was true and true. As hard as hard as one see me represent or advocate for Rastafari, that's how hard of an advocate I was for the vice lords at the time. But again, that's what I was surrounded by. Poverty.
Yes.
And so age 13, I cite that I don't have to live in poverty no more if I could just stand on the corner and sell what we marijuana. That's what I sold at the
Yes.
time. And so my
Yes.
first
Yes.
night out, I had made about 13 years old. I made about $150 standing on the corner selling weed, and so I figured this is the way out for me. So I started from age 13 to 25. I was like career criminal, thinking that selling weed I was gonna be Tony Montana of it, and I like lived
Okay.
it wholeheartedly. Been incarcerated 5 times, shootouts that God blessed me to never been hit, even though other people were hit, died, all those things, guns to put in my head,
Wow.
robbed, all these things that you go through in that lifespan. And God just protected me. At the age of 25, me and my brother that actually got killed, his life kind of saved my life. But we had made a vow. We had been away from our daughters. So my daughter was born when I was 17. His daughter was born the same. But being incarcerated, you missing birthdays and things like that. So we
Yes,
said, no,
yes,
the streets is kind of, you just start to see it's not for you. This is about age 25. And we were saying, yo, we're gonna be done with it. But he got killed a week before he was about to leave to go to Arizona and be done. And it happened like right across the street from me. I was long time people when I say it, it's funny, a barber
yes,
as a Rasta, but yeah, I was a barber
yes.
for a long time. So
Okay,
he got
okay.
killed across the street from the barber shop that I was working in at the time. And like I
Wow.
heard the shots, we got down. When I got up, I saw his car was shot up. So long story short, that wasn't even it because now the I don't know. Fast forward to that. So I lose him. But in it, you want to retaliate because you live in this life
Yes,
at the time.
yes,
My
yes.
mom said to me, like I don't want to see you in a box. Like I don't know what y'all got going on there, but just basically if you can for me, let it go. And that was the thing that really changed my life because what I did is I just stepped away. So I should mention this.
Yes.
People told a false story that I had something to do with the person that got the gun from the barbershop, went across and killed him. Police
Okay.
came to the barbershop, surrounded the shop, took me in,
Wow.
kind of
Wow.
take me in for murder. But they knew I was his friend. They knew we was best friends. They knew us from the street. So one detective was like, I know you didn't do it, but the word on the streets is you had something to do with it. So you might want to get out
Wow.
of town because there's a hit on your head. I know this is not guessing. So from that time, my mom said what she said to me. I literally just disappeared from everybody for 6 months. Give thanks to a
Wow.
best friend that I had that allowed me to go for 6 months and just disappear from everything that I knew that was the streets and everything involved in it. And I literally played video games for 6 months trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life.
Wow.
Jano, this one video, and I told the school told me it only played one time because they only had a budget for it. But it said, "Do you think you got what it takes to be on air? You want to be an on-air radio personality?" Um, yeah, that's what started this whole journey. So I was like,
Okay.
"Yes, it's gonna be me." I should mention I was rapping at the time, so I was a recording artist, and I was kind of trying to do
Okay.
my thing. But I can't even be out in public. So how can you gonna be a recording artist in the '90s? Or maybe early 2000s if you can't be
Yes.
in public. So
Can't be in
anyway,
public.
um, the school was away from the hood, so I kind of knew I wouldn't be seen, but I didn't have enough because again, I wasn't doing nothing. I couldn't make money. My best friend who I was staying with, who had been taking care of me all this time, spent her bill money, her light bill money to pay for. Will never forget this, to pay for my tuition for me to get into school. But here's the thing about it: school is 30 minutes away, drive. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
a car, I don't have any of these things. So how am I going to get there? I begged my mom, please take me, mom. Could you come 45 minutes away? Come take me. And she did it for 3 days, and it was like, I can't do it no more. It's too much.
Hmm.
By that third day, I met a classmate that said he saw me up the street from his house. What?
Mm-hmm.
We happened to stay up the street from each other, and he ended up being my ride for the rest of the year for me to get to school.
Wow.
Honest, this is how John worked the whole thing. This is why I know I was blessed to see this
Yes,
because
I.
none of
Yes,
this was me.
I.
um,
Mighty,
but I'll
mighty.
say so. Fast forward if I can. I'm gonna tell it. It goes into a broadcast school says you have to get an internship, in order to graduate. They gave us a list of internships that we could go to, but on the top list they were saying, "Don't go for these. There's no way you'll get them. You're just starting off." And so, what do? I go for the top two, which was ESPN and iHeartRadio Chicago.
Yes.
Actually get interviewed by both of them, get hired by both of them, but I gotta
Wow.
choose. I gotta
Wow.
choose. Sports, I love it, but music is really my life. Again, remember, I'm trying to be a rapper at this time. I'm gonna do the ludicrous thing. But the first day into Clear Channel, it was Clear Channel to turn to iHeart. First day into iHeart Radio Chicago, they taught me marketing at a level that I had never. It showed me the world that I know and I can share with people now. And I
Yes,
spent
yes,
three and
yes.
a half years. Well, started 3 months as an intern, and then after 3 months they hired me, and then I worked 3 years from 2006 to 2009 as the marketing promotion assistant and then marketing promotion coordinator. So
Wow. Wow.
um,
So describe date, average day. What type of tasks were you doing?
we were I was just doing activation. So Clear Channel Radio Chicago had 7 stations. It was the hip hop and R&B station, the top 40 station, which is Kiss FM, the R&B station, which is V103, uh WNUA jazz station, um light, I'm trying to think. In the inspiration state, I'm missing one of them. But the point is, I was going out doing promotions for each of the stations. So, like the jazz station had Jazzing at the Shed. It was an event that we did every Tuesday. It was the Shed Aquarium, which has all of like the sea creatures, if you will. And then they would have a jazz thing there. WGCI we would have activations where we're in the streets at different like grocery stores or things like that, telling people to come out, be a part of the live event that's happening there, and we're doing giveaways and things like that. Um, that was really my day. Like every day, I'm doing about 5 to 7 promotions because the
I
promotions
want I
last
want
for
you
an
to
hour.
break down. I want you to break down the economics. Why is the radio station sending you out to do these
Oh,
promotions?
okay,
Break
got it,
down the
got it, got it,
monetization
got it.
for the people to understand.
Oh,
What's the purpose of these? Because I think
oh,
a lot of people don't understand how radio works. Break
this
it
is
down.
that was this is key. So why I'm out is because brands are paying the radio station for advertisement on the radio station. And so advertisement, a lot of people only think of maybe traditional radio advertising where you hear your commercial played throughout, just say like the spot block. They say we'll be back for commercial break after this commercial break, and then you hear your commercial played. Then most people only think about that, but advertisement within radio is visibility is ultimately what they're paying for. So for us to be in a place where we know a lot of people will be and we have an activation, the purpose of us being there is that we have the signage, like you see this sign behind me, signage of that brand that's there at the activation. The brand is giving away the tickets, like these tickets are brought to you by this brand. So this brand identification is attention, because that's the thing that everybody is paying for. If you're paying for advertisement through media, you're paying for attention so that you can hopefully gain the awareness of an audience that then purchase your product, your service, or whatever it is that you're offering. So ultimately, that's what we were doing. Brands were paying the radio station for attention and for awareness of what's going on with their brand, and we executed it by doing those promos.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
Yeah.
Continue the journey. Continue the journey.
Yes, I. So from there, 2009, they laid the whole marketing department off, probably like 45 of us. Just the recession of something around that time was hit, and it's just like I remember they just laid us all off. I remember like I was working my way kind of up what I thought was this corporate ladder, and that
Yes.
was the greatest thing that ever happened for me is that I realized it was false, at least for me. Other people can do it, but I just realized for me, it's no ladder, because what ended up happening, I trained the person, and I don't want to make it racial, but it's rather white boy who didn't know anything,
Yes.
told
Yes.
me I was going for this position that was going to stick around. I trained him. They laid off our whole department, and he ended up somehow sticking around. Anyway,
Wow.
um, after 2009, they laid us off. My mom, well, I was kind of sulking about it, like, man, I done worked 3.5 years, and they tell me this, and then I don't even get the interview, and all the things I'm telling you. But my mom
Yes.
says to me, "What are you gonna do? You're gonna cry about it. You're gonna do something about it.
Hard.
You
Hard.
can take the lesson as take it as a lesson. It's skills that you learned there in these 3 years, right?" And it hit me. Yes, you're right. I'm like a free agent. And so literally since 2009, I've been a 1099 contractor as a branding and marketing consultant for, I mean, a lot of brands you can think of, but all started from there, from
Yes.
the 3 years I gained with iHeartRadio Chicago, and then my mom sparking and saying, "Hey, they taught you something. You can use that." And so basically what they showed me was what I just told you, is that if you have an audience, there's people that will pay you for access to your audience. And so
Definitely.
how do you build an audience? Okay, now going back to broadcast school, or going forward to broadcast school 2006, where the first lesson that our radio teacher, so they taught radio and TV,
Mm-hmm.
what our
Mm-hmm.
radio teacher taught us was that perception is not reality.
Hot.
Whatever story that you tell is what people will perceive, but it doesn't have to be reality. He said, if you think about history, history is told more so by the victor because that's the person that's alive to tell the story. So if
Yes.
other people don't tell their stories, then nobody would know your story or the true version of your story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's impactful for y'all to hear me telling y'all, but
Mm-hmm.
in 2006, it was very impactful for the guy. It's like,
Yes,
what?
I.
And so I began that journey of storytelling. And I didn't realize that was why Clear Channel, or again, iHeartMedia, brought me on and kept me on, because it's like, you know how to story tell. You know how to take
Mm.
these brands and realize what story they're telling and tell it to the people in a way that they can receive it. And so all I did 2009 was take my ability to story tell and started telling brands, hey, you can tell your story through digital. And at this time, nobody was thinking. So I should add, that was the advantage that I had. So
Yeah.
at Clear Channel, we had to get a Twitter, we had to get a Facebook, we had to, when none of this, they was just starting. Nobody
Yeah.
really even know how to use them, but they made us get them. And I mean, for the purpose of like, not selfies and things like that. Like everybody had to use it for the business part of what we was doing, to extension of the advertising that we were doing, if it
Yes.
makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what helped when they laid us off, because I'm like, oh wow. By that time, people was up on Twitter. Like people had a good following. Um, Facebook was coming around, so it started to be easier even to sell to people that, hey, all you got to do is start to tell your story on these platforms. So anyway, 2009, 2010 hit. I go to the Damon John Business Academy because I'm realizing I know a lot, but I don't really know entrepreneurship. Like I don't really
Okay.
know how do you start
Okay.
a business, LLC, all this stuff. So I pay $1,500, invest in myself. I encourage you to do the same. Invest in the knowledge
Key.
that,
Key.
man. So I paid 1,500 for a 3-day course, and I mean you got to be there at 7, and they ain't repeating nothing. So you got to get all your notes. So you want to get any questions that you ask, you better ask there because you can't really contact them. They say you can, but you know how those things go. So
Yes, I.
anyway, um, I was brave enough to pitch, and these are people that they would partner with the NFL, Target, big brands, and they was afraid to pitch in front of Damon John. He's one of the Shark Tank people. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
actually pitched. Because I pitched, he was able to dissect my business in a way to give me lessons to take that I've used and been successful from. So it's like,
Okay.
yeah. So that was the lesson in 2010. I'm just really fast forward to 2013 where it really all
Before
started
stick
for
a
me.
pin, stick a pin, because you hit a key there. The investment in yourself. A lot of people try to nickel and dime, and you end up spending more money because you're wasting time, being inefficient.
Hmm.
Then and what you find as you scale and as you climb the ladder of success, you find that successful people invest in knowledge. You know what I mean? They don't think twice about taking a
I just
course.
paid $250 for an AI course.
You
and
see?
and people consider me a marketing guru or whatever. I'm always learning. I literally just paid $250 for this AI course. I didn't really learn nothing from it, but
Yes.
well, I got some things that I could use, but she didn't really teach me anything. But I still feel I'm joyed that I'm still investing in myself. Is the point where I'm saying,
Key,
still
key,
investing
key,
in my
key.
education.
But continue the journey.
Yeah.
Continue the journey.
So where was I?
So you were you
2013. So I was starting
yes.
the young man that, I don't know if y'all can see the plaque behind me. That's where it started in 2013. I meet this young artist. I'm from Chicago, as I said. Meet this young artist from Chicago who has this viral dance. It had like 18 million views on YouTube. He had signed with Atlantic Records. The video was out. He had been on 106 in Park, the Steve Harvey show, all these things. And when I talked to this young man, he says, I haven't made any money. What? What do you mean? So at this point in time, I told you I had been trying to be an artist myself for, I don't know, 18 years. I was my own manager, my own agent, my own everything. But in that, it taught me the music business. So when I
Yes.
run into this young man and realize that he doesn't know the music business. He's just really creative, and people that realize that he don't know took advantage of him. The way that you've heard probably over and
Of
over
course.
with
Of
people that
course.
have been talented in this music business. But for me, this young man coming from the same neighborhood I grew up in, so he's probably 15 years younger, but the same like a 3 block radius from the neighborhood I come up in, and it's like
Okay.
poverty at the. You're lucky if you make it out to see 18. It's kind of that type of energy. So
Yes. Yes.
it bothered me enough where I'm like, nah, we got to do something about this. And
Okay.
so, by way of the marketing that I knew how to story tell, I'm like, do you have your own YouTube channel? He did not. I
Okay.
just actually, I just got it back. And I think
Yes.
that I wasn't going to talk about this, but I think it's important to talk about this now because
Yes.
he ended up firing us. The success came. We went on 2 national tours and with Jermaine Dupri. And I get it. Somebody with that level come, he fired us. But the point is, because of that, he ended up not finding people that protected his IP. And as a
Yes.
result, his YouTube channel that has 150 million views on it, 390,000 subscribers, which is basically his career legacy YouTube channel, was down
Yes.
for the past 13 months because somebody put a claim on a song that is his, that he owned.
Wow.
But they
Yes.
have the legal, well, had prior to me coming in. But that's why it's important. So anybody that's listening, please, 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 like know what it takes to own whatever you create. Even again, if it's a brand, LLC, those, and right now we have AI. So no, I'm not gonna spend this time telling you how to do it. Use AI and say, how do I do this? But
Yes.
returning to it, we started this YouTube channel because he was getting people millions of views on their channels. They making lots and lots of money, and they paying him like $500 for him to dance in the video. And we're like,
Mm.
no, this have to change. Long story short, it ended up being 18 months of us working. Started from $600 birthday parties and him just kind of doing this dance. Then he created the next dance of it. So he's actually done it 7 times. This
Wow.
artist that I'm talking about, but the one that's most successful is to do it like me. That has 132 million views.
What's his
Has
name? What's his
50.
name for people to check him out?
His name is Dlo. Yeah, Dlo, DLOW. It stands for determined, loyal, optimistic, and willing to learn.
Okay, we're gonna
DLOW.
check him out. We're
The
gonna
name
check
of the
him out.
song is "Do It Like Me."
Okay,
Yeah, "Do It
okay,
Like Me."
and continue. So
So,
he
so
go ahead.
he, when I figured this out, it really, I should mention this too, because he had reached out to me before the Atlantic when the song was first starting to buzz. Don't underestimate what you can do, I guess is what I wanted to say, because he reached out to me and I'm like, I'm not a manager, like I'm a marketing guy. I can show you how to do some things, but I can't really manage you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I sent him to the abyss to get into the I don't know, like chewed up by the sharks. Like I
Yes,
really
yes.
held on to that after I fell on. So that's another reason I came on board. So just kind of a message that I didn't know what I was capable of doing. I turned it down. But when he came forward, I was like, I know the business enough. So I registered all of the songs. I registered him as a writer and a publisher on ASCAP.
Yes,
Let's first
yes,
start with
yes,
that because you're
yes,
not in the
yes.
music business unless you, yeah, I mean, start there. And then um took over distribution. We distributed our own, well, through Reverb Nation at the time, but we're
Yes,
not
yes,
using other people to distribute. So we just became independent on our own and
yes,
just
yes,
moved forward with the storytelling that I'm talking about. So now
yes,
these $600 bookings, how they became $10,000 bookings is literally me using this device and filming
yes.
every single thing that was going on. This is in
Okay,
2013, 2014, 2015. Everybody's
okay.
doing it now, but nobody was thinking about doing it then.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
as a result, we had about 30,000 Instagram followers. At that time, everybody that was following you saw it. It wasn't the algorithm that
Exactly.
you was dealing with.
Exactly.
So
Stick a pin, stick a pin, stick a pin. You touch something that I talk about all the time, because people think because they have all these followers that their followers are plugged in, or you're wondering why is the same people you're seeing on your posts. Breakdown, because the internet has evolved. In the early days, followers were organic, everybody could see, but the internet, the business model has evolved with the
it
algorithm. So
has
just break down
definitely
when you
evolved.
say when you're talking about um, who actually sees your post from who subscribed. So because I have 60,000 subscribers on YouTube, don't mean that they see my post every time I post. But break it down for us, please.
Exactly. So, and that's unfortunate because before this algorithm started about 5 years ago, all 60,000 of them would see it. They would get
Yes,
notified every time that you
yes,
posted a video. It's just the way it go. They can get notified now, but you have to force them to turn on notifications. You know, people
yes,
not doing that. But returning
yes.
to your original point was that before 5 years ago, every platform, if you earned your followers, then you earned the right, you earned that attention for them to see whatever it is you posted. But then these platforms realize that, hey, again, what I talked about, people will pay for attention. These platforms realize we got 3 billion, 250 million people on our platform. So why are we giving away this attention for free? So what
Hot,
we're going to do is create this thing called the algorithm, that, because this is the thing, this is what the algorithm was really made. It was for them to monetize, as I'm saying, they can sell advertising to us. You know, we can pay for ads for more people to see your stuff. But another piece of it was to what they care about is you staying on their platform.
yes,
So what they decided, if they build an algorithm, you would only see things that you kind of care about. And if you only see things you care about, then that would encourage you to stay on the platform and you wouldn't leave the platform. So that's what was invented 5 years ago to start as an algorithm base. But where we are now, we're not even dealing with social media. We're dealing with interest media.
hot.
So what do I mean by that? How how is my stuff seen? My stuff is seen by the people that are interested in the things that I'm posting. So what that difference is in terms of, if you're trying to cut through, or I call befriend the algorithm, you have to feed it like what it's asking for. And what it's asking for is to show more of who you are. So although I am a reggae radio platform, I I don't know. I just think I burn herb. I like to bowl. Um, I like to sights. I like to hike. Not like hiking, but I like to walk around in nature, in the woods and things like that. Me showing more of these things, I'm going to get more people that are interested in these things, that don't care about me having a reggae radio station or don't care about my music, but then get involved with me as a result because they're interested in the same things that I'm
Yes,
interested in.
yes.
So that's what we're dealing with now, compared to, again, when we was starting before 5 years ago. If you earned your audience saw what you posted.
And that's important because we have a lot of Rastafari artists or creatives that don't want to do interviews unless they got something going on. They just, they pop out when they have a project, and that those days are done. You know what I mean? You have to keep
Done,
constant
done.
engagement with your audience. You got to feed your audience. You got to feed the algorithm. They want to know your process, who you are, to
I don't
gain.
know if y'all could see this, but this is what y'all need to do.
Hold on, hold on. This was the slogan that busted place when the Ras put up this slogan. You know what I mean?
And the
That's when
reason
I
I really want to harp on it is because when you said artists don't want to come unless they got something, it's because they're trying to sell something. You get it?
yes,
I only
yes,
come when I have something to sell. I want you to get my bottle of water. I got my bottle of water for sale. Well, guess what? In
yes,
today's time, I can't come say buy my bottle of water. What I have to do is show you 5 different videos why you should be having this bottle of water in your refrigerator, if that makes more sense. So I have to more story tell of why the bottle of water is important to you versus me selling and saying try to buy this bottle of water.
yes,
That's
yes,
why, as an artist, it's more important for you to tell when it's not happening Like I even share this. So a lot of us watch the, which I'm really not into it as much, but I used to watch boxing with Mike Tyson
Yes. Yes.
days, and we saw the title bout. We all want to see the title bout. What we didn't see was the 6 months of training and getting up at 4 a.m. But guess
Exactly.
what? In today's time, that's what the audience wants to know about.
That's what the
They want
idols
to
want.
know about the studio time when it was silence, and then y'all came up with something and you built something. They want to
Yes.
hear about how you came up with this music video concept that you came up with, and you just was sitting by the river doing nothing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Serious. Serious. So where did the Rastafari energy? What was your first knowledge of Rastafari, and what how did that evolve?
Ja. Bob Marley was the reason that I cited Rastafari, but it was my ex business partner that started my Integrity Talent Management Group, which is my talent management firm.
Okay.
She started it with me, and we just went on a road trip, and she put on the Bob Marley's greatest hits. It was a CD, and this was 13 years ago.
Hot.
And we just listened. We was a 3-4 hour road trip. I'm listening to Bob, and almost after every song or between every song, he's saying Rastafari, Rastafari, and he's screaming it, and it's like,
Yeah.
what is this Rastafari that Bob is talking about?
Yeah.
And I got into Bob because my dad grew up singing "I Shot the Sheriff," So
Okay.
all I
Yeah.
knew was Bob was I mean, didn't know nothing about Rastafari. Didn't know the level of who he was. I just knew he made One Love and I Shot the Sheriff, and he was from Jamaica and he smoked a lot of herb. That's what I knew
Yes.
at that time.
Yes.
No joke.
Yes.
So I'm sitting here and I'm listening, but now I'm listening to the lyrics. And I'm like, yo, it's way beyond Buffalo Soldier. It's way, it's like it's deeper.
Yes.
But he
Yes.
keep yelling this Rastafari. Me as a manager, I just kind of share with you. I invest in my education. I'm a seeker of knowledge. I guess I'll say
Yes.
that. And so
Yes.
when we
Yes.
came home that Monday off of that trip, I'm like, I want to know what this Rastafari thing that he keep yelling. And so I look it up, and it's a man named Ras Tafari. Who is this man? I swear it sent me on a 2 year journey that I didn't know, where I studied every world faith, every world religion that you can. I don't even know why. But all of that at the end of it, it was like, I'm Rastafari. And it just hit me, not trying to be like a people that's trying to. I just noticed this group that identified themselves as Rastafari think, feel, look at life the same way I do. Um, I end up saying kind of like a Muslim would want to go to Mecca. It's like, yo, if the origin of Rastafari is Jamaica, I have to go to Jamaica. So this was in 2014. I go to Jamaica and I got to go to the Rasta village because this is all I know about Rastafari at the time is the Rasta village. I run into First Man and my
Hot.
life changed. He introduced me to my first bingy instantly, put me on the, he said just 1, 2. And that's all I knew at the time. And then just, I don't know, after the bingy was over and the tour left, he was like, don't leave with the tour. I'm a reason with the eye. And I actually introduced him to the concept of Rastafari Media.
Okay.
Uh, I had just turned it into Rastafari Radio at the time. I
Okay.
literally it was this is the R&B, the hip hop and R&B station before then. When Ross and realized and embraced it, now it's Rastafari Radio. And probably 2 months after that is when I ended up in Jamaica, and I'm talking to First Man, and I believe I don't want to take credit for it, but I kind of seen them start a media network, a radio network, kind of a couple
Yes.
years afterwards, and I kind of like to say that that was an inspiration to it. But we exchanged inspiration, my inspiration of what I knew about media, and him explaining Rastafari to me
Wow.
in the purest form that I can't even believe that happens. And then I returned to Chicago, and his highness Ermias Selassie is at the DeSable Museum about to speak on Friday. Okay, I'm gonna go. I go, and I ran into my brethren. My brethren were Dada I Zadi, and then his dad. I saw the front line.
Okay.
He ran
Oh,
frontline bookstore.
What
Yo,
that?
brethren, you don't
Okay.
know. That's Jaja. Um, yeah, man, because that's
Yes,
where it
that's side
started.
I bridging too. That side I bridging too. Small world.
Yeah, man. So that's really where it started. And then his dad, Father T, they just we started
Okay.
having bingies at the store, the frontline store that they end up
Yes.
having. COVID
Okay.
messed up all that because we were holding it regularly. Because
So,
that's when I moved from Chicago to California, like COVID.
okay.
I kind of
Okay. Okay.
yeah, man. But so to long story short, that was
Wow.
Rastafari for me, through Zadi and Father T and First Man, got me.
Yeah. They I named
I
two of my
might even hear my
brethren them.
bingy drum.
Yeah. They I named two of my brethren them. What a joy. Small
Yeah,
world.
man. Yeah, man.
Small world.
So
Um. Go ahead.
um so yeah, man, that was my foundation of Rastafari and really knowing the liberty and yeah, everything. I before then I was again kind of a bad boy that turned. I wanted to be broadcaster, but every time about eating, I grew up eating everything that you can think of.
Yes.
So how I kind of even learned the ITOL and how to cook certain meals and things like that
Okay.
with dada I farati. Mm-hmm.
Give thanks. Mightyful. Mightyful. So, in terms
True.
of have you ever had the opportunity to travel to Africa?
Not yet.
Not yet.
John know me feel it in my heart. It's gonna happen before the
No,
eye
it-
transition.
yeah,
Me
no,
feel it.
it's a must, and with your skill set, because for us, and even this collaboration that we're doing as Rastafari Media, our one of our main audiences is the African market. You know what I mean? 1.6 billion people, where the median age is 17 years old. You know what I mean? That's a marketer's
Mm.
dream. You know what I mean? The African continent. So we have worked, and it's a continent that love Rastafari already. You know what I mean?
Love we.
So I'm
Yeah,
looking
love
forward
we.
to work with the eye, put our heads together along with our colleagues to see how we can plan a strategy
How we
for the continent. You know what I mean? In this time, most of my audience is African. So big up all of the African Lion Pride out there. We have
yes,
here with us a brethren who is no stranger to the media, a pioneer, in Rastafari, independent, non-aligned media. Is him teach first man about media. I can say it like that because first man I'm a brethren. Him teach first man about the media and make first man could have know about media. And also has experience in the mainstream at the highest level. When you talk about the rooms that he's been in. And this is why it's valuable to us as Rastafari, because we have to educate ourselves. I say right now, we've gone through the survival period of the movement. Our elders, they survive and they spread it to the four corners of the earth. Our generation, because I'm a little bit older than they are, not by much, our generation, we have to create the industry, the industrial movement, the
Mhm.
institutions. That's our job now to build. The foundation is laid, but now what we're lacking is the economic engine for the movement that's going to feed our institutions, and now that we can
Yes,
be able
sir.
to employ our young people, you know what I mean, and young people from all over the world, and we own from seed to table all of the aspects of our culture. It's not enough that we participate or that we provide the raw material, but we now need to own all the aspects of the supply chain. Whether it's the music industry, whether it's creative industry, whether it's um, all of the industries. So tonight,
Yo, me love it.
yeah, tonight we're gonna have a conversation with the eye about what could a Rastafari independent, non-aligned media ecosystem look like. What are the important nodes that we need to establish and control? Let's go through the exercise for the global family in terms of mapping out how do we really set up a system where we are controlling our narrative, and One of the reasons I asked you about the monetization at Clear Channel, because I want people to understand the economics of an ecosystem. Yes, there's a spiritual side, but there's an economic part of media that is so critical that we don't realize we're influenced by every single day when we engage, whether it's the internet. All of these platforms that we're on operate off of the economic model,
Ecosystem.
the ecosystem. So break it down for us, in terms of Rastafari, independent, non-aligned media. Where do we start, in terms of, strategically? How do we put our energy?
Yes, I. So I'm gonna just address that one. It's just something you said when you talked about elders, and my elder is Ross Michael. I can't explain to ones what Ross Michael has meant for the eye on this particular tribe that me on, because um I even oh man. So he the one give me this. He said, "Yo, Ross," because I helped him start his social network. Please, if you haven't
Okay.
checked for the Ross Michael, the elder, the Nyabingi elder, none of Jaja children, no crying, all of them.
Yes, yes.
Please
Ross
go check
Michael
for
and
him. He
Sons of
has
Negos. Yes.
Sons of Negros.
Legend.
Yeah, man.
Legend.
He
Legend.
has both the Facebook platform and he's on Instagram. He doesn't really do music no more. It's all about a spiritual reasoning. But
Yes,
why I
yes,
brought him up is because he helped me to realize why I'm answering the question that you saying is say, yo, Ross, you have a lot of knowledge. And it's a quote. I don't want to misquote, but by His Majesty just saying, if you have all this knowledge and you render it only for yourself, then it's like useless, basically.
yes,
And
yes,
Ross Michael helped me to really cite that, because I don't look at myself as, I don't know, nobody special. I'm a human like everyone else. I'm a one Jaja's children. So sometimes I feel like people know what I know just because of that. And he said,
yes,
nah, Ross, no, you really have something, and it's important that you realize the knowledge that you have in terms of helping we people. You know, he the
yes,
one really in bringing forward to try to set this information forward. I've started a artist development and creative business development, artist
yes.
development, and creative business mentorship platform with my partner, just based on Ross Michael
Nice.
sharing this. Now, to address your question specifically, what we need to do, we need to understand that every brand is a media network.
Yes,
I'm gonna repeat it so it sinks in. Every brand, I don't care if it's again this water brand or whatever it is a media network. So that's why you see them on social media channels right now. But
yes,
the reason why I say look at it as a broadcast network, you will start to see that YouTube is Netflix,
hmm,
Instagram is Hulu, Facebook is your Peacock. So you
yes,
realize that you have your own network on all these broadcast channels. No, you have your own channel on all these broadcast networks, is what I'm trying to say.
yes,
You
yes,
have your
yes,
own broadcast channel on these different broadcast networks that have already built an audience.
yes,
All you have to do is edutain that audience. The same way any television show you used to grow up waiting to listen to, or like I use in the US, there's a lot of people in music, BT, MTV, even ABC, where he had the Cosby Show. Growing up as a
yes,
kid, I
yes,
couldn't miss the Cosby Show. I knew what network it was going to be on. But guess
yes,
what? Even after the Cosby Show came on, I would probably stay tuned in. Or even
yes,
before the Cosby Show came on, I would tune in a little early to make sure I wouldn't miss my program. So thinking along the lines of that, creating your pillar um, show, because every piece of content is an episode. But what is the show is about? What is your program? What is your weekly Cosby Show? What is your
yes,
weekly 60 minutes? Develop that, and then make the rest of your content go around that. But you're edutaining 24 hours a day on your broadcast network. Now,
mm,
that sounds like a lot. It's like, how can I possibly? So you had said something in the beginning of this, Ross. You was talking about creating. And there's only
yes,
so much creating, only so much creating anybody can do. Only so much
yes,
creating the human brain, even with AI, can do. But guess what? you can do at scale, you can turn this device around and document. If I'm
Hmm.
filming what's everything like you're documenting right now for to put
Yes.
out on the network, but I could be documenting what's going on right now,
Yes.
and it's
Yes.
behind the scenes. I could
Yes.
be
Yes.
so if we start to think to document what's going on, we don't have to create a narrative that we think people care about. Because we're gonna guess wrong if we think
Key.
they care what people care about.
Key.
Interest media, as I said in the beginning, is where we are. So as long as you document the things that you're interested in, I promise you, it's gonna be a audience that likes the same thing that comes into your funnel. Now, what you do with them once you get them into your funnel is your thing. But to answer your
Um,
question, I
um,
kind of
you
hope
know,
that
no, it's
got us
beautiful
started on where
because
we need to be.
it ties into the streaming, the rise of streamers, the documentation, iShow speed, the latest example, we see this young brother come up. He has these millions, and all he's doing is documenting. He's a gifted
Documenting.
athlete. He's going around challenging people, running, races, having fun,
Hmm.
documenting everything. And this brethren has amassed an empire, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
of young people. I think he got like 50 million more subscribers since he's been in Africa or something
In
crazy
Africa. Hmm.
like that. You know what I mean? So what you're saying in terms of attention, economy, and not creating what I tell people, because I use a creative ecosystem model. I model creation after Mother Nature. So in every
Hmm.
ecosystem, you have different aspects. You have production, you have consumption, and then you have reduction. So the production is would be like the earth creating the grass. The consumption is the animal that eat the grass. The animal take a poo,
Hmm.
the poo feed the grass, and it's a cycle. So all of those to me is the aspects of a creative ecosystem. For me, creation is the production part. Most creatives get stuck just creating. They're not thinking about who's consuming the product. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? And what do I need to consume to continue to deliver a high quality product?
Then
So
there it
you
is.
see what I'm saying? So they don't spend. So it's an unbalanced ecosystem, and an unbalanced ecosystem will die on the vine. You know what I mean? It's going to be unhealthy. It's going to be toxic because it's unbalanced. Reduction is how do you reduce waste in the system? So the fungus in nature, all of these things is recycling the waste. So in
Hmm.
my model, the reduction is what are you doing in your system to reduce the waste, whether that be education, whether that be investing in yourself, taking classes, the learning, and just always keeping that mindset of, because your time is one of your most valuable assets as a
That's
creator.
it.
So these are the things that I work with my clients who book with me in terms of, because I think mindset is so key when you're creating, because you can get burned out, or sometimes you get lost in the weeds. I know people who have been going to the studio and just voicing songs for decades, you know what I mean, just recording songs and just put them up and record, and but they're not seeing the money because they haven't set up their
And
ecosystem. Speak to us about that. The creator and being stuck in a mindset. Talk to us about the mindset.
well, I so it's a couple things where I kind of see to it. So with me, I don't think the creator should solely be focused on the business part of it.
Mm.
And I say that because the people that I work with are strictly
Yes,
creatives. They're not going to
yes,
come up
yes,
with none
yes.
of the stuff that you heard me come. And even as I say it to them every day, it's still like, what to do, what to do. So that's the mind of a creator. But they create art that moves
Yes.
masses. So what I encourage the creator is to find your tribe. Like
Okay.
I don't care who told you independent means you're doing it by yourself. Independent does not mean doing it 100% by yourself.
I love
It
it. I
means
love it.
grabbing, finding a team of people that do the things that you're not good at, and building with them and trusting them, and allowing
Yes.
people to just be a star in their role. So, kind of when you talk about production, I think the best way to be productive is to identify your strengths and
Yes.
identify your weaknesses, and then
Yes.
identify
Wi-Fi, the guy makes an appearance when we go into the high frequency realm. It happens.
Yeah.
All right. Give
That,
thanks. Give thanks. Every time we go into some high frequency realm, sometime the Wi-Fi start act up. But we are patient over here at the Lion Voice Network, the
there it
Lion Pride.
is. Mhm.
We know what time it is. But continue. You are cooking. You are bubbling the pot, King. Keep going.
But yeah, I mean, really, just again finding your team. I was saying, find the thing, identify the things that your strengths, and then identify your weaknesses. Then identify people around you that are strong in the areas that you're weak, and then start to talk to them. Start the network. That's how you really build your network. Like me and my brethren Quasi right now, we're building. We're getting introduced to the RMO, but he identified things I'm strong at. I'm
Yeah.
identified things he's strong at. It's like we're gonna figure out a way to make that work. So to me,
Yeah.
production really starts there. That's how you scale. The
Yes.
independent thing that I'm gonna do it on my own, that's false. And I also think it's important to note that sometimes it takes sacrificing. What I mean by this, so um I remember when I was building, like, and I had to invest into myself. Even that
Yes.
1,500 that I talked about that I paid at that time, it wasn't just like,
Yes.
oh, I could just pay for it. I spent
Yes.
1 month eating the same thing so that I could save, like, so
Yes. Yes.
that's
Yes.
another part of being of production, is to realize you're gonna have to sacrifice some things, that
Key.
sacrifice the fun. I call it fun now,
Yes.
but maybe
Yes.
fun later, because that's the
Yes.
the toughest thing I see people don't want to do. And it's like, yeah, it's some sacrifices that come into whatever it is that you're trying to do. But then getting to the technical part of
Yes.
production, this is
Yes.
how I work in terms of content. How I, again, media company. I was thinking,
Yes.
so you need a videographer, maybe
Okay.
multiple
Break it
people,
down.
because
Break it
again,
down.
you
Break it
scaling.
down.
But this is just you need a videographer, some person
Yes.
that's actually documenting the content. Then you need an editor, somebody that's taking time to edit what's going on, to storytell
Mm-hmm.
in a way, because it's not just posting content, it's telling the story through the content. If you watch news or whatever it is, they're telling the story of what's going on. They're not just telling you this person got shot. It's like two suspects was on. So you're actually going through the storytelling part. And the third piece of production would be the scheduler, or the distribution person, the person
Mm-hmm.
that's actually scheduling the post to go out, whether it's on Zoho, whether you're using Meta or the platforms themselves to schedule, but actually scheduling it out at a time where you can get the most eyes on it. When your data is telling you the most people are paying attention to you. So a person that's paying attention to those things, that if they're the scheduler, they're gonna know the metrics. And I guess probably the fourth person really should be you. Watch your data. That's
Mm.
everything. Everything in what we do, it's the numbers. What the
Yeah.
numbers going to take? Like we were even talking about, how do we continue to move the needle on this initiative that we're doing? Is that we
Yes.
have to show the numbers. The numbers have to
Yes.
match for people to say, "Hey, I want to pay you to get the attention of your audience. Hey, I want to pay you to partner, or not even pay you, but I want to partner with what you have going on because I see it can work." But the numbers is ultimately where it starts. So be a
Yes.
track of
Yes.
your numbers. I think that would, and I don't know, something else probably come to my mind, but that would be off the top of my.
No, no, no. That's beautiful. The only thing I would say is that the sad reality that most artists face is that nobody wants to be on your team initially until you demonstrate that you're serious. So you're gonna be lonely, searching for that team. You're gonna have to learn these things at first. But I agree that you need to keep a mind of delegation, but you're gonna be disappointed.
I got a teammate for him.
Yeah.
I got a teammate for him.
All right.
Go to Chat GPT and say, Chat GPT, I am an artist and I don't have a team. I would love to have a team around me, but until I build a team, could you tell me exactly what I need to be focusing on every day? Could you build the team for me and tell me what my team should be doing? And you
Hot.
do as much of that as you can on your own until you get a team.
Yeah. Yeah. This is why I say that this is the best time in the history of the world to be a creative. We've never had the access and the tools as a creative that you have now. I mean, it's also a lot of saturation in the marketplace. Don't let me think that it's easy, but there's never been this type of access direct to consumer. Think about in the record companies when you had to pay distribution companies that had to come and pick up physical product and ship them to physical locations. Only certain people could access those distribution channels. You know what I mean? So unless you went through a major label and got access to these distribution, you're cut out of that game. Now we have digital distribution. You can reach the whole world with your product or service. So I mean, it really is a revolutionary time
With
for,
one post.
yes, with one post. You know what I mean? So, you're one post away from changing your life, really. You know what I mean? It's really like, and I tell my wife that I say it's like playing the lotto. Every time you put up a short or you put up anything can go, and it usually is
It
not the thing that
is.
you think is gonna go that goes. You know what I mean? I've had videos that I've took hours and days to edit and they don't go nowhere. And then I have things that I slap together and
And the
things send
ones that you slapped up,
you know what I mean? So you never know.
the ones you just slap up,
Yeah, you know what I mean? And what I tell people is consistency beats perfection every day of the week. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, you're trying to get this perfect scenario to get started in your mind and what you need, and start where you are, brethren, and build, because people want to see
just
that
the
journey.
first step forward is that first step forward is the most powerful one. Just don't. I mean, Quasi, you really just touched on something that when I do these consultations that I do and they have me come out and speak, I really touch on this because I I see how many people get stuck just thinking about what is the perfect way for me to start. And the
Yes.
perfect way to start is just to start. I've watched people, I've really sit and watched this. A person that I told just to start and they started now and their channel is going up. And a person that wants to be perfect, they're still sitting there being perfect, waiting on this perfect time to start. And I done watched two or three people kind of surpass them while they sitting there waiting on that perfect time. The perfect
Hmm.
thing is just to start. And the
And
only
that
way for,
perfect
and this is
video.
us in human history. If you check it, oh, go ahead. I was gonna
No, I was
say
saying
it's
that
to make the mistakes, and that's how you
that
learn
perfect
how to
video might
improve.
not, sorry, that perfect video may not go nowhere. That you spend all of the time calibrating and lining up the angle of the sun, and you may put that out and two people may see it. You know what I mean? So you can't stop yourself from going. But I want you to give us the history of Rastafari Jams. Last I checked, 340 plus thousand on IG, more on Facebook. I mean, how did you build? What was the inspiration for Rastafari Jams? Give us the story. Tell us the story of Rastafari Jams.
Sure. Yes, I. So again, with Ross, and I decided that I didn't want to do hip hop and R&B station no more. I've always had a streaming radio station since broadcast school, and then learning that at iHeartMedia they were starting the streaming side on the website. Then like, oh, okay, so that's what got me interested in it. But then I realized I will be competing with every hip hop and R&B station out there. So I really was like, I don't want to do this for money. I'm just gonna do it to like just build me an audience. But then when I Ross, it was like it don't make sense because I don't even listen to this music no more. So
Yeah.
inspiration said no. Actually, with that at the time, and I cited Peter Tosh and Free Eye had got assassinated, and they were
Yeah.
starting Rasta Reggae Radio,
Right.
and it just felt like like this is you showing me a sign. So definitely, so it's Rasta Radio is what it started off as. How we transitioned to Rastafari Jams, it's been a transition over these 11 years. So 2 years in, we partnered with Rohan Marley, and the name changed from Rastafari. I mean, if I could really tell history, if one's know, it was almost Bob Marley Radio. Like I really went to Bob Marley Museum. I sat down. I don't want to give names because I don't want to get inside, but like sat down with the person that's running the state, me and Rohan, about making it Tough Gun Radio before there was a Tough Gun Radio. I'm not. I
Okay.
got. I don't know because I be reluctant to share these things because people feel like you're trying to do something, but this is all facts.
Yes,
So
yes.
after that, it was Rastafari Jam. Rohan and he was starting with Marley Coffee. Some stuff was going on with that. We was starting to move around a lot, and he couldn't dedicate the time that we felt like he needed to put to Rastafari Jam. So we just decided we would, split the partnership and just be brethren. He would give us strength however he could. But from there, I changed the
Yes.
name to Rastafari Jams. I added the S on the end. That was
Okay.
2017, I want to say somewhere around that time. We launched September, not September, what am I saying? September 11th was Peter Tosh. We launched April 4th, 2000. Was it 2014? Yes, 2014.
Okay.
2017, as I said, we were after a year with Rohan, we transitioned to Rastafari Jams. How we built the audience to answer that is just the same thing that I've been telling y'all. Just tell the Rasta man story. Like from the way that I knew, I would document all of the bingies that we were doing, any
Mm-hmm.
Rastafari. I would repost them. So I had gotten up probably about 30,000 followers by 2017. Um,
Okay.
Once I made the transition, I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna start posting as much as I can, which is what the same thing I'm
Hmm.
telling people to do now, just wasn't dealing with the algorithm. And I started posting like programming, like Mondays Mellow Mood, Mondays with the Marleys, Tuesdays was Tosh Tuesday, Wednesdays emphasis of reggae, Thursdays I didn't have a program, Friday I had it was what was it? The New Music Friday. The Sabbath was Naya Bingi upon the Sabbath, and then Sunday was Classic Reggae Sunday. So that was the daily program. But then I would
Mm-hmm.
start at 7 with Teachings of His Majesty post, at
Mm-hmm.
9 a positive vibration post, conscious thoughts post.
Mm-hmm.
At 1 we're gonna post the daily spotlight of the day featuring the reggae artist of the day, and then
Yes.
from there just kind of repost whatever you see. But that was the locked in programming for I
Structure.
don't know, for a couple years. And then I had
Structure.
it's a reggae radio station, so we have about 30,000 monthly listeners. Um, yeah, that tune in about 90 different countries,
Right.
275 different cities. It just started to grow, and then over time, it's grown to 750,000 supporters across all the social platforms from just that same formula.
Wow.
But again, posting on every one. Remember
Yeah.
that YouTube is Hulu, Instagram is Netflix, whatever. But just realizing I wouldn't just focus on one platform. I would be on
Yes.
all the platforms
All the different and the
at the same
brand,
time.
your brand is building. Your brand is building across these platforms, so people now starting to look for you because people don't stay on one platform either. So it's very crucial what the eye is saying, because what you would describe is that you put together a structure, and you were consistent with that structure. It wasn't just happenstance. You didn't wish on a star and hope and dream. You know what I mean? You set up a structure, and then now people start looking because they know every day they're gonna get this quote, they're gonna get this bingy on the Sabbath. You know what I mean? So now you become part of people's routine. You become a part of people's a life who are looking for that. You niche down, and this is one of the things in content creation that you learn very early.
Broadcasting.
Broadcasting. Talk
I
about the
mean, that
niche.
still
Yeah,
take
the
me to the
content.
2000s. Oh, it's a little
We got a little delay.
delay.
Yeah,
Let me
we got
hear
a
you
little
now.
delay going on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear the eye now. We're locked
Okay.
in now. It was a little delay, like
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
can hear the eye now. It was like two
All
minutes of
right.
delay.
No,
good
just
now.
break down
Everything
the
idle.
importance of selecting a niche. Break down the whole concept of selecting a niche and targeting your audience.
Well, for the eye again, this returning to the interest media that I didn't know was come around later, but I just decided. Well, this is I'm saying 13 years, 13 years Mirage, 11 years this platform, but the platform was just I love reggae music, and if Bob has been around the world, it must be a whole group of people that love reggae music too. That's
Yes.
literally where it started from, and so I was just like, I'm going to tell the story of reggae. I want to tell
Huh.
the story of reggae and Rastafari through this platform. That was really the mission, and that's still the mission to this day to promote, honor, and preserve the rich legacy of reggae music while celebrating the influence of African heritage and culture. It's still that's been it. So, in terms of niche for somebody else, again, what are you interested in? What are you
Yeah.
interested in? And you could talk about every day that you can story tell. You can every different way that you can tell thing. And I say, well, say start there. What are you most passionate about? Now, if it don't have to be spirituality, I'm just a very spiritual individual. So that was where it synced for me. And I was like, it got to be a lot of spiritual people that think like me. And lo and behold, I was right. But it's a lot of people that do that cook, that garden. No, me and the brethren was talking about culture, agriculture. So show
Yes.
that in this time. I mean, that's what people want to see. How do I grow my own food that I can eat in case the system break down? Because that's what everybody think about. If it break down, then what do I do? So things like that. I can't think of different. Like I'm drawing a blank, but whatever
Yes.
it is
Yes.
that you're most passionate about, I say figure out how you want to tell that story. Again, whether it's posting just you posting content daily about it, like not meaning like you not even actually in the content, you just finding pieces of content that tell that story, whether it's you on camera speaking and telling the story, whether it's a combination of the both. Yeah, just figure out how you want to tell the story of whatever that thing is that you most passionate about.
And this is why, especially for brethren and sistren, identifying your purpose is more important now than ever. I firmly um, put forward that the way to manifest Zion on earth is to have everybody living within their purpose and their passion. So that means that if you're a janitor and I go to Zion and I see the janitor is going to be sweeping and singing, he's going to be happy and idle because he love to clean. He's just that brings him that joy. And if everybody is doing what they have that joy for, you know what I mean, that is going to create that high vibration. What's happening in Babylon is that because people chasing the bag, you
Man,
go in places and you get in screw faces, you get in, you get in all of this negativity because people are in jobs that they don't want to be there, so it just creates a whole lag on the system. And it just, you know what I mean. So for us as Rastafari, if we're burning Babylon, we have to create the alternative. You know what I mean? What does that look like? It means everybody's in their purpose and in their passion. You know what I mean? And they learn how to monetize and live. And this is why I said we had a brethren on the last episode that I was talking about commercialization, and I had to make the distinguish between commerce and commercialization or selling out, because not
amazing.
all
Hmm.
commerce is selling out, and we got to get that out of our head as Rastafari, that if you're making money you've sold out. No, you know what I mean. We have to trade, we have to engage in business and industry, we have to be able to employ our young people and to create jobs for other young people. That if there's a young PJ who was a vice lord and he came upon an elder Ras who could give him a work, you know what I mean, you're going to save some lives, because you can't take a youth out the street and you have nothing to give them, nothing to show them. You know what I mean? So these are
I
the
mean,
things.
that's really my work today. Just no, I wouldn't cut any. I just was agreeing. I was
Oh,
like kind of going forward of what you said. That's
no,
my work today. Is just really to share this information with as many of our youth that can see it. But I think you touched on something that's very, very important. It's just everyone knowing who they are. Let's really like not trying to be the next man, or live their success story, or doing it because they did it this way. If you're doing it, you're doing it because you want to do it in your heart, not like following another man. It's a saying that I learned from Jamaica: "Don't wash no face." And I had
Yeah.
to like, yo, what does that mean? I kind of got to the root of it, and it's like be yourself. And the best
Yes.
way I can tell anyone to do that, this might sound like, because I say it to people every day: when you rise, give thanks and praise to the Most High for life, health, and strength. Pray,
Yes.
Jaja, please come guide me on my journey today. Guide and protect me, but ask for that guidance. That's where it's going to come from. Not going to come from man. Not going to come from you even listening to the eye. I might plant a seed. Go pray to the Father.
Yes. Yes. It's key. It's critical.
Yeah, man.
Um, I want to now pivot to the history that's being made, because one of the reasons I had the privilege to even have this interview is because we have come together. There's a collective of Rastafari media platforms. We have all come together. There was an MOU that was sent out, that was
Yes, sir.
signed. Lion Voice Network, Rastafari Jams, Rastafari TV, I Just Stars, I Never Knew TV, I Radio, Studio M. I know I'm Skyline. I know I'm missing somebody, but all of these platforms, Wally King's Design.
Yeah, man, it's 32. So on all 32 of you, we love you.
Yeah,
True.
I just want to touch the media platform, but talk to us. Why do you think it's important to be part of this historic? You're doing well by yourself. You're a trailblazer. You're a pioneer in the space. Why is it important to partner with younger platforms like myself and others, to be a part of this historic webathon?
I just wholeheartedly, again, as I talked about Bob used to say unity, and then Africa unite. And it's like these things, they hit me and convicted my spirit enough where it's like these are real things that I wholeheartedly believe can happen. They're not just words that I'm saying. And so, um, no, I don't know, 750,000 people say it to me. It don't really mean nothing unless I can build something with my brothers and sisters. So brotherhood and sisterhood mean everything to me. So I mean, I guess you're asking why it meant something to me. It meant something to
Yes,
me to be a part of a bigger brotherhood. But the significance of this time is that we always say it's one Rastafari. Since
yes,
I've embraced it, it's one Rastafari, but we have never really seen it. The
yes,
world has been looking to see it, and now this is the time where we get a chance to do it. And I can be a part of that, to be a part of changing the way that people view this liberty that I so wholeheartedly live by and get persecuted for sometimes. Oh no, sign me up. But for the world in a whole, I just think the world is seeking truth, truth and rights. Everybody talking about the man who got murdered in the streets, and I'm gonna call it it is. This is what it happened. We got murdered in the streets,
all right,
but
all
it's
right.
like it's causing people to kind of divide, pick one side up, pick this side, and we as Rastafari stand on one side, and that's righteousness side. And so I think
Right
us
there.
coming together in this time to show that real show of unity to the world could shift the world to see that, yo, let's at least look at righteousness. It's not, we're not trying to condemn or convert no one. We live how we live. You live how you live, but we're gonna show you a different light that I feel like the mainstream media won't show you because they want you to live in fear. We say
Yes,
faith over fear. So if we come together as this conglomerate, no matter how big the platform is, everyone has an attention of an audience that cares about the ultimate goal, which is one uplifting our community and we talking about globally, because we know the powers that be don't care about enough economically to change anything. But imagine if we could come together and do what Marcus Garvey talked about. Marcus Garvey did it. He wasn't talking. There wasn't no social media then. Imagine if we could do that same thing now, without the gatekeepers that can come and try to divide it the way that they divided with the Marcus Garvey during his time. That's why it's important to me. I know it was a long-winded way of saying it, but that's
No,
the
no,
initiative for
no,
me.
no,
It's
King. This
really,
is
really
what
a
we
deep.
want. This is the
Yeah, man.
Lion Voice Network. You know, this is a long-winded network. We love to hear the reasoning because that's part of our
Yes, sir.
tradition as Rastafari. We are Ethiopians. We're not Russians. Respect to the Russian family, but we are not in a rush over
There it
here. You know
is.
what I
There it
mean?
is. Yes, sir.
Take our time and we reason out the vibration. And I love what the eye said and how the eye express. You know what I mean? What the eye said about this history and what the potential is in terms of this global webathon. And this Sunday, I'm going to share the pay per view link. It is a pay per view scenario, so you have to pay to get access. But, we have ones that are uniting across the board. It really is a production. I've been blessed to be the person tasked with editing together all of the footage, and I'm telling you, it's just I'm in awe, from Prince Armias to Dr. Julius Garvey
Doing a
to
great job too, my brother. I should say that.
you know what I mean. So it really it no it's an honor for I, because again I'm a baby. People like yourself are the pioneers in the media space. I was called to this space by His Majesty because as an actionist, I always end up creating what I want to see. You know what I mean? And I wasn't seeing those high level Rastafari reasonings that I came into the trad with. You see two Rastas seated up. This is regular in the Livity. You know what I mean? Where two Ras seat up with me, maybe a
Yes,
chalice
sir.
load, maybe, you know what I mean, thing, and the reasoning just
Yes,
go
sir.
up and it go up into the hours and we building, you know what
Go,
I mean?
go.
But the world doesn't get to see that. You know what I mean?
Coming to
So
nightfall and you're not even realize it. Yeah,
exactly,
man.
exactly. So I wanted to create a
I was saying
platform.
going to nightfall, you're not even realize it. So
Yes, I. So I wanted to create a platform where we could showcase that side of Rastafari to the world, because my experience is that I know Rastas who are high intellects, from grassroots, go right up to PhD scholars and the whole everything in between. So we can't put Rastafari in a box. You know what I mean? We're so diverse, and my slogan is that unity does not mean uniformity. That being said, as a person born and raised on this soil, how do you feel about this whole diaspora war and the FBA, ADOS, all of that kind of reasoning that is happening right now on the internet?
So when you even say the last piece of what you said is the thing that really bothers me, because I feel like if it's any quarrel between, if I have a quarrel with my brethren, we're not gonna voice that thing on a public platform for ones to get
Yes,
in and see them thing, because we need to show a sense of, and not saying a fakeness, because that's what one says to me. So I'm supposed to be fake when I'm not fake. Well, I'm not a fake person. I done heard that before. But nah, man, it's not about being fake. It's about reasoning with my brethren in private. So whatever
yeah,
going there, to me, that's the first place. It shouldn't be out for ones who not even a part of it to share their debate about it, and then for
yeah,
ones
yeah,
to see the sense of this, to feel like this isn't united. The reason why is because people seeking to be a part of something that
yes,
they feel like is standing on firm foundation, firm alignment, with human liberty, so to speak, and
mm-hmm.
when you see the divide amongst an organization publicly, it kind of starts make people question: Do I want? Is that all these things that come into play. So I just feel like I wish those things were done again off the internet. But what do I think about it? I just think ones need to put ego to the side.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just because a lot of those things to me just come from that. I don't deal with ego. I kind of
Yes.
go off the four agreements, which is again, don't take things personal. So it's like if man say something to me that I don't like, I don't have to take it to where we're I don't know, in a debate or a disagreement, because we can you get what I'm saying, like a
Yes. Yes.
quarrel type
Quarrel.
vibe. We
Yes.
can
Yes.
reason amongst brethren and sisters and say, this is this is what I like, or this is my values, this is where I stay, and we can find a way to what they call co-promise. Let's say compromise,
Yes.
but you get it, fire. It's just it's that for me. I just feel like ego is too much in the thing, and when you have that involved, I read The Wise Mind of His Majesty, and I've read the book over
Yes.
and over and over and over. But I keep reading it because I feel like every human being could benefit from reading that. And so, what I think about it, I think those people that are leaders maybe should read that book, take the ego out of the way, and realize
Yes.
that
Yes. Yes.
our ancestors have fought along with us that's fighting today for a end that has nothing to do with the individual or
No.
individual organization. It has to do something with the collective diaspora. So I just close it there.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Our Pan African elder, Johnny Johnson, said Pan Africanism or perish is the battle cry of the ancestors, regardless of the geographical origination. Jaja. Yes, Johnny Johnson, big up yourself. Big up all of the brethren and
Kind of
sisters.
just, yeah, what I just said. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Big up all the brethren and sisters. Big up Grassroots. Big up the $5 super chat. Give thanks for the Lion Voice Network, Rastafari Jams, and all the Rastafari media, business, and chart. Blessed love. Big up yourself, Grassroots, always giving us strength to the platform. I don't want the item make Grassroots lonely. Feel free, drop $1 on the super chat. You know what I mean? We're building. But I think one of the things that I want to see, that I really want to see more of is our businesses advertising with our media platforms. You know what I mean? So you threw out a number there, 750,000. That's 3/4 of a million audience that this brethren has access to at the press of a button. Now, uh, you know, you might have to buy some advertising, but he can push to that number. You know what I mean? He has the keys to that kingdom, to that ecosystem to push. And what I find is that
It's
our
$50 for one post across all the platforms. That cannot. I mean, I really I make advertising so affordable because men know the economic. Like one post for $50, 400 on the social media, you get posted across the whole 750,000 network. Again, not I know you said this is a promotion, but I wasn't trying to promote. I'm trying to tell people that if you're not willing to invest at least $50 into yourself, whether this platform or not, I don't know what to tell you because it's hard to cut through when it's billions of followers on all these networks, and you got millions of creators that's trying to all buy for their attention. So you need paid advertisement. It is a part of my marketing campaign, which from record labels on up, it's a paid ad campaign, just like you had to pay to be on the TV, magazines, radio back in the day. It's just paid advertisement. But I don't know. I just wanted to encourage ones there to at least have those budgets aside. Because again, if it's not
yeah,
Rastafari Jams, but you're gonna need platforms that have an
and
audience
I
that
want
can
that.
help you
Yeah,
spread the word of whatever product service that you're trying to offer to the world.
and I want the people to understand that you're not going to reach a full audience without paying for advertising. The way the algorithm is set up, even for myself, I get paid ads because for me to reach my 60,000, I gotta pay for it. They're not giving that to me for free. For the brethren to
Mm-hmm.
reach his he has access, but for him to reach, because maybe 2% of his audience is gonna see his post if he doesn't tap in. Because before when the internet was in its early stages, remember that all of these social media platforms were losing money. They were not profitable until they figured out this algorithm and
Hmm.
how to make tax people for having access to the audience and the eyeballs that they had on the platform. So a lot of our business people, and that's why I say you got the mindset has to be completely different, because a lot of people are still posting looking for organic growth, and you wonder why your platform has not grown in 5 years. You've only grown 100 followers because you don't understand the game that you're playing. You know what I mean? Organic growth no longer exists anywhere on the web. There's no platform that's just letting you have access to all of the eyeballs that you want to have access to. So once you know that, this is where you tap into the Rastafari jams. $50 is an excellent price. You know what I mean? My vision is that my 60,000 followers would tap in with Rastafari jams in the morning, and you get 50,000 inquiries about advertising that would monetize him, and he could now scale his operation. This is how we got to think as Rastafari people, because that,
So
go
that I
ahead.
can employ people. Yes, and I can
Exactly.
employ those too. Yeah, man.
Exactly. This is what I'm fighting the fight, my brother, to re-educate us how we look at the system. If we want to get free, we gotta invest in our own. We gotta circulate the Rastafari and Pan African dollar through our own people, our own platforms, and we can do it now where it doesn't bankrupt me. You know, if all of my subscribers were to send you $10, you wake up in the morning with $500,000 in your account, and it only costs $10 for one person. We've never had this ability, family. So now is the time for us to
Hmm.
really use collective security for what it means. And what my two keywords here,
Yes.
my brother, are budget and staff. So my dream is to see Rastafari jams with a full staff, where you can, with your knowledge and your ability to hire people, and you know what I mean, it's only gonna explode. And then guess what? The brethren now can hire Rastafari youths. He can provide internships for Rastafari youths, for other ghetto youths. It's gonna be a plus plus.
I can
But
build more initiative. These things going on in Jamaica, things going on in Africa. They reach out to the eye, and I'd have done fundraisers, but I would love to just have our own ecosystem where we can funnel a certain amount of money into Africa, funnel a certain amount of money into Jamaica to keep building these infrastructures, not just here, but globally around the world, because no one's going to do it but we. So we have to build our own economy. As I keep talking about Marcus Garvey, but we have to. We have to. Yeah, man.
no, definitely, and I see it happening. So, and this is why all of the people who have a business, a product, or a service, tap in with Rastafari Jams, and get your product or service in front of everyone. It takes years to build a brand, and how you build a brand. Think about McDonald's, Coca-Cola. These are multi-billion-dollar brands, but yet they have commercials on every day. They still buying commercials, even though everybody know about the. Ask yourself why.
Mm.
Talk about it.
Yes. Oh, I mean, that one right there, I would love to talk about because that's where I start when I'm talking to any client. I mean,
Yeah.
they do not stop telling the story of McDonald's, Burger King, Pepsi, whatever it is. They just find different ways to say it. So one story might be, check out, we got the best burger in the world. Another story is like, we're giving back to the community. Look at what we're doing for the kids in this fundraiser. The next one, so if you have to know that if you can drive past, because all that we just talked about from McDonald's, or I can go in a grocery store, all of these already have the real estate there, and people are going to buy them just because they've seen these brand names my whole life. I'm 46, so I've been seeing them basically my whole life. So imagine what they do to sell themselves. But if they find it important enough to spend millions, I'm talking about millions of dollars into advertisement every year, what is that telling you in the market of, because we're all in the same market. They're fighting for the same attention that you're fighting that you're fighting for within the market. They might not be selling the same thing, but ask yourself, why is it important for these companies who are already making billions of dollars to spend millions of dollars to make sure people keep knowing them and keep being they're being fresh on these people's mind? Because attention always matters. Attention will never stop mattering. And once you gain the attention, you have to make them aware of what's going on so that they care enough to spend money in whatever it is you're doing. And so the only way you're going to do that is by storytelling. And the only way you're going to get is by advertising. Again, I talked before there was social media, paid social media advertisement. No one had that was the even thing. People was willing to pay $5,000 for a radio advertisement because that was about the minimum back then. But they won't pay
Yes,
that same, not even 10% of that into advertising themselves now. They would pay $10,000 to $20,000 to be on a TV commercial. And the thing about that, it wasn't targeted. With ads,
exactly,
you can target exactly who's seeing what it is that you're
exactly,
offering. At that time,
exactly.
and I can tell you again, I come from it. You're just
Yes,
throwing out
yes,
a message to a broad audience, and you hoping that it connect with a certain amount of people. That's not what you're dealing with now. So you can
yes.
pay for advertising, but you still have to pay for advertising. Yep.
It's very serious, and we have these economic conversations on this because I think this is just as much part of the Pan African experience as a history. We have to be balanced because without the economic strength, we do Pan African a disservice. We do the levity. And this is one thing I love about His Imperial Majesty is his emphasis on economic development. You know what I mean? Ethiopia had
Right.
5-year plans, which they developed across all industries. He used agriculture as a base, but he had all different industries that he invested in, and then reinvested those monies into the country. You can't build schools without money. He had money because he had investments. So we gotta, as
Hmm.
Rastafari, it's not just about the barefoot warrior up in the hills. Yes, we give thanks and we glorify that tradition because that allowed us to survive and it allowed the integrity of the spirituality to flourish. But there's another side as well, which is the entrepreneur, the Rastapreneur. There is the business, and this teaching that the brethren is giving us tonight, it applies to the person who is doing yoga classes. It applies to the person who's knitting tams. It applies to the person who, you know what I mean, has essential oils. It applies to, and this is why you can't put it in a bubble of content creators just for artists or authors. It's whatever your product or services
Whatever your product
you
or
can
service
build.
is,
You
yes,
can build a brand. You must build a brand
you
if you
must.
want to
Yeah.
scale. You must. You know what I
And
mean?
you must think
Um,
like a network, yeah, like a broadcast network in order to do so.
so you're building a broadcast network around your product or service. So I mean, I love that. Um, One of the takeaways from tonight, PJ, is we're not selling, we're storytelling. That is a bar
Storytelling, the
right
truth.
there. That come from your MC background. I know that came from the MC
No,
background.
actually, I'm working on my second book. So that's the title to my second book, which is book is telling people about marketing. Like this is really like marketing 101, but I don't know, I didn't want to make it that corny. So I kind of came up with that. And so I had a book and an online course that I'm gonna be introducing to the world called We Ain't Selling, We Storytelling. Yeah.
That's mighty. And let me just let you know, I am the reading Ras. So I want to hear about the book. Pull up the book again. This is promo time before we seal up. I want my audience to spend some money. Don't embarrass me, Lion Pride. I bring in the guests on here, and I'm not getting no calls from the guests that them bank account full up. We need to make this happen. When I bring the guests, I know that I'm long-winded and you want to take it out on me. That's fine. Don't take it out on my guests. You know what I mean? So we are
No one, we love
hearing
the reason.
we're hearing from the brethren. Tell us about your first book, and then I want you to let us know how the people can
Yeah.
purchase and how they can support.
Beautiful. So my first book, I'll show it again. It's Heart of a Lion, Eye of a Tiger, the Black Rocky Balboa story. It's the story of my life. It's my autobiography. The people that know me know where I come from, as I kind of share my story. Come from the west side of Chicago. Uh, a lot of, I don't know how to explain it. A lot of poverty and criminal activity, all that stuff around me. And we just, as I said, we wasn't supposed to make it to 18, kind of where we
Yes.
come from. And
Yes.
now to have done some of the things that Jah has allowed me to do, everybody around me was like, "Hey, you got a story to tell that could help people. That could help people. Please tell your story. Please tell your story." And that's been 10 years actually going on. Um, and I just really sat down one day, and Jah just hit me with inspiration to say, "Yeah, really tell your story." So long story short, it's a story of how I came from the West Side, how I just come out of the streets, how I went to broadcast school, changed that the whole journey you get of with the artists that I worked with and everything that we went there, and then everybody that came after that, because he was the first, but because of success from that, I managed a model, got her a brand deal with Joe's Jeans. She was a plus size model. I was thinking about things that I think Kazaya got her. She's the only one still to this
Mhm.
day has been distributed by Ziggy Marley, other than Ziggy, on Tough Girl Worldwide. So just been
Okay.
able to do some amazing things because I just really wholeheartedly believe everything is possible through the Father who told me everything is possible, and through my
Yes.
faith and praying. And so that's what this book is about. It's a story of resilience that you can come from wherever you come from. You, I feel like I'm not
Who's the muscle
telling
man
all
on
of
the
the stories,
cover?
but
Who's the muscle man? Is that the eye?
in the end, you can triumph through if you know why, but never gave up, never. It's a what the guy would look like who made it through this story, if that makes sense. So it really wasn't, because people say that doesn't look like you. It wasn't meant to be me. It was my imagination as I was telling the story. This is what a fighter, because it was like hard to tell. So yeah, it was my imagination that kind of came forward.
Give
And
thanks. Give
if
thanks.
I'm being transparent with everybody, which I don't mind saying it, AI created this. My brain. Now I prompted this to like it took about 3 days of prompting to get this, but this is
Yes.
all done by AI.
Wow.
Um,
Early
but
adopter.
you asked
Early
where they can
adopter.
purchase it. It's available on Amazon, Kindle. you, you know, you the only other person other than my partner have said that word to me. Like my ex business partners. Like for when I started in 2013, stuff that I'm doing is no do it like me challenge. Atlantic Records. I mean, these things is I didn't realize I was an early adopter. The word that you use, that's why it just convicted me so hard, because I see these things I'm telling people and everybody think I'm crazy. Nobody can see what I'm saying. And she's like, "No, you're an early adopter." And I'd never heard the term before, but to your point, that but where you can get the book is on Amazon Kindle. It's called Heart of a Lion, Eye of a Tiger. It's available in the hard copy, like you see now, paperback, or the ebook. Appreciate love, any support. And just again, anybody that just feel like you have been through so much and it's over. This is that story too. That no matter where you started, it don't care if you're 50 years old today or 60 or whatever. These people come up with these ages that I don't know. I feel like you only old, I guess, as you think. And so if you believe before today, and that's what the story of the book is really about. Yeah, resilience.
Um,
Hopefully
we have
inspiring someone else to be resilient.
this brethren is asking a question. He said, "Did you get permission to use the name Rocky Balboa in the title of the book? If not, the Rocky Balboa franchise could claim copyright trademark case." What would you respond to that?
Would I respond to that? I would want them to respond because that means more attention for me. So I have not to answer. I have not done the research, but I just don't. I don't. If I'm being honest with you, I don't live in fear.
Yes.
So I don't worry. I just move
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I
It's
protect myself. So again, if they want to come, I got lawyers that we can do what we need to do. But I don't not move. I
it's a
have a platinum plaque
conversation.
from a song after we cashed in our money. The people that it's now split 13 different ways because we used two samples that at the
Okay.
time only
Yes.
done sample, but it was two samples that we used in it. If I'd have waited on them to say yes, I can use it, I wouldn't have this platinum plaque. I wouldn't have traveled the country twice. I wouldn't have went to Germany. All the things that even told you just happened probably wouldn't have happened if I'd have made that thing that I'm a word with this. So I just don't live in fear. I just move
And
forward.
and
But I
that's
appreciate
and that's very
love you,
real.
Slack. But I
Yeah.
so I
No,
appreciate what you bring. So.
that's very real. And as an entertainment attorney for many years, it's something that I don't like to tell clients, but at the same time, a lot of these things can be resolved. It's not responsible counsel to tell somebody that, but you know what I mean. A lot of time, if you try to license on the front end, sometimes you spend a big bag of money and the song don't go nowhere. You know what I mean? And I remember I tried to. I'm an artist, and the
When it's doing something, they're gonna reach
yeah,
out in that
they're gonna do a deal most of the time.
publicity of them reaching out can actually be a
Yeah,
benefit for you. And I've found it to be not just the industry. You would be surprised how many people actually kind of live by that. And it's just like when it's time to break bread, you don't mind because you're a good-hearted person. You're not trying to steal from nobody, but you're
yeah,
not trying
yeah.
to wait on somebody to dictate what's going on with you in your life, if that makes sense.
I mean, that's the story of hip hop. You know what I mean? That's the literal story of hip hop that you're explaining right there. That's how hip hop became a genre, and they had to break bread. And some of the great hip hop songs, some of them had to give up 100% of the publishing, but they made money off of touring and doing other things. You know what I mean? So, um,
And I was just gonna say, so now it's the buzz for attention to your name, and guess who's calling? The booking agent.
exactly. So, you know what I mean? It's a calculation. Um,
Yeah.
that you have to think about. But I want to just thank the eye. We're at the 2 hour mark. Give thanks for coming on the platform. I want the eye to know that this is now your platform as well. So anytime your next book is ready, and
It goes the
you
same way.
yeah, we can do a deep dive into what you're doing, any products that you have to sell. We're here. Again, we're building up. I'm trying to build a platform that's active where my audience supports our guests and whatever. So we're not alone out here trying to do what we're doing. We're building community. We're building a collective mentality. And while the fiat currency has value because we're headed toward a huge crash of the currency, while it has value, we want to direct it. We want to capitalize our workers in Rastafari so that they can translate that into touchable assets and we can build our Zion. We are tasked with the job of building Zion on earth. How we want to see it, it's going to take capital, and no one individual has that capital to do that. So we need the one cocoa full basket strategy. The $10 from 10,000 people can do more than you can imagine. You know what I mean? And now we actually have platforms that have 10,000 plus people. So we got to start educating the audience that you are a part of the solution, but you got to mobilize your capital in the right way. So please support the brethren. Let's buy the book. Let us show the love. Lion Pride. Order the book. Let them know. Put Lion Pride in the comments or in the notes so that the brethren can feel the love. Please don't embarrass. I am trying my best. Let's show that love. I'm gonna keep on chanting it. you know, until I have 1 million subscribers, maybe 50,000 will listen. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
chanting.
man.
You know what I mean? If I have 50,000,
Let
maybe
me close with this one.
yeah,
Because you said something powerful. It's something that I say. I wish I knew 1 million people that would lend me $1. Because I'm broke today. I need 1 million tomorrow. Now I'm not really broke, but you get the concept. 1 million people that's giving you $1 just made you a millionaire. So if
right.
we think like that in terms of the collective security that my brethren talking about, if we all just donate a dollar into it, then that builds into that million that can start or something for us. So I just closing that. Oh, actually, one thing before I go.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
this is for the creators. With some creators that might end up listening to this or watching this. Again, I feel like I'm promoting, but it's a platform called Co-Sign Sessions that I just started, and this artist
yes,
development and creative business mentorship community. It's $97 a month to join, so I don't know, it's not for everybody, but those that are really serious about it, the value that you get in it. I mean, these are other creatives from all over. We got labels now starting. We launched 8 weeks ago. We just did a
yes.
big thing at NAM, which is the biggest music conference that happens in the United States every year. And so we have their support, and we're starting to get brands to come on board. Just encourage ones to get in that community if you really want to grow, like grow with other creators. And I'll just close with that because
I
that
never
community
have
is
to
great.
apologize.
Awesome.
I never have to apologize for promoting business on this platform. You know what I mean? We hear this is a revolution platform, and you hear the brethren drop Nam conference. This brethren is big out a road. Don't take him light because they are with we. You know what I mean? The brethren is a known brethren. You hear him drop a Rowan Marley name and certain thing. The brethren is humble, but he knows his stuff. He is well vetted, well trained. Again, he has the proof of concept, 750 eyeballs under his ecosystem and growing. We're gonna pray that you hit the million plus this year with all of the blessings that are coming. You know what I mean? So we give thanks. And before we go, let me just before we head out, I want to play this commercial one more time. Let us
Rastafari.
let us check
Hurricane
this
Melissa
out.
Response Fundraising Webathon, Sunday, February 1st, 2026, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. via RDDM Media. Keynote speakers, celebrities, artists passing through. Prince Ermias Saleh Selassie, Dr. Julius Garvey, Sister Carol, Julian Marley, Empress Sativa, Morgan Heritage, Kabaka Pyramid, Yemi Bolo, Muta Baruka, Janine Spragaben, Friza Islam, Dr. Bobby Price, and so many more. Lock it, Sunday, February 1st, 2026. That's right, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right, Rastafari Hurricane Melissa Response Fundraising Webathon.
Big up, Bobby Condors, a
Yes,
legendary
sir.
selector from Massive B, voicing that's playing on Hot 97 as well. He's been shouting it out on his show. The love of Rastafari for this webathon is unprecedented. The Voice newspaper in the UK has printed. It's been picked up in South America. The Ethiopian community plugged in. So we're expecting everyone to come out in their numbers. We want to change the narrative about Rastafari, the story that we tell ourselves. Our fundraising need to go
True.
into the millions of
True.
dollars now, so we can rebuild and we can
Hmm.
set this repatriation the right way. You know what I mean? We can prepare. We can have our Rastafari food sovereign system where we own the means of production from seed to table. All of these things are in the vision of the Triple R plan from the RMO. Big up all of the people who are working tirelessly. As I said, I'm doing the editing for this broadcast. I just get the sister Carol just sending her contribution. I'm gonna tell you, say the thing is, yeah, I mean, you don't want to miss this family. Surprise performance. The whole thing is gonna be on another level. So just tune in and know that Rastafari is rising, and the IDEM are a witness of this uprising,
That's
this
right.
connection between PJ, the Rastapreneur, and the Chas Match Kwasi historic. We are not gonna stop. Why? Because the time has come for the Lions.
Time is now
to tell our own story, and this
own story
is the Lion's voice. Here the eye, Selassie the first.
Rastafari.
Blessed love, this is Rashala representing for the Lion's voice. Seeing? Yeah, man. Keep it locked right here, sir. On to Zion we go. Lion voice don't move slow, no. Rastafari rules and reigns, and we're going where the blessings flow. Keep it locked right here, sir. Saying? Rashala said that. Lion's voice.
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. This is the Lion's voice.
African pride, root of all nations, boy. I tried with the lion, the Rastafari. Lion of it tried with lioness like I do. Empress on the front line, we need you. Well, this is Medicine, the steady one, and you are now tuned in to the Lion's Voice Network. What the lion fought for do? Scorch them. Roast and parch them.
I will never stop, hail the Most High, and I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Empress Manel, and I young scientist. You're right. Universally unfold, be told. Blessed love, this is Itege Idama, and it's time for the lioness and the lion's voices to be heard. This is the Lion's Voice, Rastafari.
Yo, blazing fire, yeah man, this is Ras out of Belize, and the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story, right? Yeah man, we blaze fire, burning the wicked and the dirty vampire. Yeah man, Ras said that, blazing fire, lion voice.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.